For all three of you, can you just tell about your process of getting into triathlon, both in general and at Arizona specifically?
Yeah, for sure. I'll start. So I was a swimmer my first year, so I was recruited to swim as a freshman, and then I transitioned to triathlon. I went to Wes's office and asked him if I could be on the team. So that was a little bit more of a different way to get there, but yeah, these guys were recruited.
Yeah, I grew up swimming and running as a kid, and then I got into triathlon pretty early. I think I was about 10 years old, just with like our local club in Canada. And then I raced a couple times in the States at like junior cups and that sort of thing. And Wes reached out to me at one of them. And then, yeah, history's there. He called me out and said if I wanted to come in like the fall of our first year. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So that's how I got here.
I've been always doing a triathlon, coached by my father. So I did like the first races when I was like 5, 6. So I grew up with the sport. And actually, I met Wes at the World Junior Championships in 2023, and he recruited me and asked me to come for a visit. Yeah, and ever since then I'm here, and I love it.
Were you guys all on the team? You guys were all on the team last year?
Yeah.
That one. What do you remember most about that day? And what's something that maybe you can take from that experience that you could use to your advantage this Saturday?
I think what I remember most is the cohesion. Like, I think I've never felt more like family with like a group of friends or even teammates. I think it was just a real team win, and all of us have like that feeling and that joy, and we got to share it with everyone back at home too. So it really made us closer as a team.
Mm-hmm. And we had no expectations last year. We kind of just went in knowing that we're in good shape and we know we could fight for top 3 maybe. But then the fact that I remember Kelly said when we were running back on the last lap of the run, she was like counting people, and she's like, oh my gosh, we have enough people in like the top 10 that we might actually win this thing. And then when they told it, or like told us that we won, it was just so surreal, and we didn't even know how to take it all in. I still kind of think we haven't, but yeah.
From the last year, I think it was pretty interesting. We knew we had a good chance for a very good result, even that we could win. That was actually our mantra. Why not us? But there wasn't this pressure as it's gonna be this year. But for me personally, the thing I remember the most was just before the race when Kelly brought us all together. And this was something special. That made our team stand out, that we were racing for everybody in our team, not only for ourselves, but for people not racing, for all people supporting us. And I think this was what made the difference.
What do you love about triathlon? Why is this your sport?
I would say the 2 people next to me. Like, I think that's the best part. I mean, like, there's a lot of great things that we get to do and places we get to go. Obviously, triathlon isn't, like Wes said, a championship sport yet. So we don't get the opportunity to travel like a bunch, like within the United States. But I've gotten to see places and, you know, visit friends in other countries that I never thought I would get to go to. And so, yeah, and then just, you know, I think we have a great time training in general. Like, you have to love it, or else you're just doing a lot of something you really, really despise. But
Yeah. I would say the sport is pretty demanding. Like, you need to put in a lot of time if you want to get something out of it. So our training weeks often look like 20 hours of us side by side in the pool, on the bike, in the run. So I think, yeah, just finding that community around us and finding the support and just loving the process gets you pretty far.
The combination of 3 disciplines that are like very different, it's very challenging, and I feel like it's like almost like a triathlete lifestyle that you just have to love it. And the collegiate sports make it much more interesting and much more fun because you race as a team, because it's highly individual sport when we talk about Olympics and these things.
Molly, what was your experience like down in Australia?
It was so fun. I've never been there before, so I didn't fully know what to expect. And then Worlds is an amazing opportunity. It's the first time I've ever gone. I've never qualified before. And I didn't actually decide to go until like a couple weeks before. It was very last minute. So I kind of had no expectations, just go. It's also the first year I've done the Olympic distance. It's pretty long. So I'm still learning how to navigate that properly. So I think just have no weight on my shoulders, just do what I know how to do and trust the work that I've put in with the team and with Wes. And yeah, it was a really good experience. I was, I think, top 20, I think I was 24th, but I had a crazy, crazy, crazy swim. It was like one of the most wavy, most chaotic swims I've ever had. And I was I think maybe even at the back. And we played catch up with the group I was with the whole time and was able to run down about half the field. But
Were you swimming in the ocean?
yeah, yes.
I assume that's different than swimming in the
Yes, very different. Gotta pay attention to currents and waves and all the above.
So you mentioned that you had collectively had no expectations going into last year. Now you're defending champions, and Coach West was talking about there's some pressure that's associated with that. How do you guys deal with that?
From where I'm sitting, like opportunities like this for sports like ours really don't come that often, and so I think like this is really why you do sports. Like, you know, just like the waking up and like feeling the nerves and all that stuff. Like, you asked why we love it, and this is probably one of those reasons. Like, what better time to just like go to war with some of your best friends than this weekend on Saturday? So we're really excited.
Yeah, I think Wes touched on it as saying pressure's privilege. So the fact that we are reigning champions and we have the chance to bring it home again would be amazing. But I think just the amount we lean on each other and the amount of cohesion we have with our team, I think really lets us raise the bar and try as best we can to take it back home.
Yeah, I think embracing this challenge as a team can be the thing that can make the difference. And
And I asked Wes about the recovery process. What is it like for you as athletes between races? How do you stay mentally and physically healthy?
Yeah, it's a great question. We're still trying to
Still
figure it out
learning.
ourselves. Yeah, but honestly, just, you know, making sure to eat a lot, eat
Sleep a
often,
lot.
sleep a lot, sleep often, do things that are not triathlon. I think becoming overly obsessed with it can make you really good, but can also like help you get to places where you just can't be, you know. And so focusing on our schoolwork, as maniacal as that is sometimes, but
Yeah. I think a lot of communication and just trust in our training and the plan that we have, because a lot of times we feel as athletes that we like more is better, more is better. Say I didn't have a good race, I want to like go even harder and try and do better the next time, but a lot of times you just need rest and you need to be nicer on yourself, and Wes tries to teach us that, but sometimes it's hard. So, yeah.
I would say it's very helpful that we as a team are a very good functional unit. When we go to races, there's usually 2 coaches with us. Usually goes an athletic trainer, student managers, which can help us carry our bags or anything. The athletic trainer is also very helpful if we need anything for recovery. Also, the very good thing is that right the day after the travel, there are very good recovery options also at the university and everything. And also, of course, coaches like take into the process also the recovery, so we have easier days. There is big opportunity to the training can be more like optional based on how everybody feels individually. So I would say it's very well handled.
yeah, shout out Jessie Johnson, if she'll ever
She's
see
a
this. She's an
athletic
amazing
trainer.
person, yeah.
She's really good.
There's obviously a lot of U of A alums who live up in the Phoenix area, and Coach West, he was saying that he thinks it's a good spectator sport. What would be your kind of sales pitch to anyone who's curious about it if they wanted to come and see it?
We would say, obviously, we need everyone out there. I think triathlon, especially, like, crowd energy and crowd noise, like, it is so inspiring. Like, I was talking to Heather, one of the amazing parts of our team. She is, like, the loudest cheerer I think I've ever met. And I get so much energy from listening to her cheers. So if we could have everyone that could come out and support us, like, we talked about last year, like, our victory and our experience with that was for the whole community of Tucson. Like, Tucson itself is a huge triathlon, cycling, what have it, community. And so I think, just any support, and we'll make it entertaining. So
Promise.
please come.
Also, we could hear all the support at the home race just a month and a half ago, and I think it was also like a huge support, and it made a difference. So please come out there and cheer us on.
Tempe might not be our like legitimate home, but it's pretty close. So the fact that we can have the nationals in Arizona is pretty cool. So I think it'll be impressive to watch, impressive to see everything. And a lot of people haven't seen collegiate triathlon actually racing, so might as well see it once.
Anything else for the athletes? All good? All right, thank you guys.
Thank you
Thank
guys so
you.
much.